RK's Guyana Free Media presents for human development and national development this message.
Dearest, beloved, divine friends and family, brothers and sisters, in the fraternity of religions, the concourse of humanity, the Guyanese in Guyana, the Guyanese in the diaspora, friends and families around the world, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day, as the case may be. Welcome to this part 138 of RK's Guyana Free Media, and this is in the edited version. And I know many of you love in the raw. Friends and families, we continue to pray. We continue to wish the PPPC government, His Excellency, President Dr. Irfan Ali, and to wish him all prosperity as he lead our country into greatness, as he integrate our various peoples and cultures and races, as we bring peace and love to ourselves, and as we bless our President, Dr. Irfan Ali, His Excellency the Vice President, Dr. Bara Jagdeo, and the Prime Minister, Brigadier Mark Phillips, Attorney at Law, and soon to be, I hope, Senior Counsel and Attorney General, Minister of Legal Affairs, Anil Nandalal. Brothers and sisters, friends and family, a lot of things are taking place. Dr. Ali with his team are busy appointing, moving around, meeting departments of government, meeting with people in civic and civil society to try to bring some sense into Guyana, which the country was turned and the government was turned into the business of a cabal, a group of people who was looking at everything to aggrandize themselves with wealth and power and their families for future generations, and which I hope we will have proper commissions of inquiries that will quickly investigate and will stick, and that the government of Guyana, Dr. Irfan Ali, will invite the FBI and will invite the Scotland Yard through the British and the Americans to help us to investigate the thievery and the land giveaways and the nastiness of the vulgarity of the so-called infectious hospital, where the floor wasn't looked after but the outside was top coated, and where billions of dollars was spent on their friends and families without tendering procedures, friends and families. I continue to bless Dr. Irfan Ali, and I will ask the operator to show us Dr. Irfan Ali once again to show us up there. Congratulations to the PPPC for the victory. To show us Dr. Bara Jagdeo and Brigadier Mark Phillips, the three giants, along with Anil Nandalal, Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs, a hero in legal jurisprudence, law, and court procedures in the country, the nation, Guyana. Divine friends and families, brothers and sisters. We want to do some readings, but to give you some headlines. The operator will put the various newspapers on the wall, starting with Kaiture News, the #1 most independent newspaper in Guyana and professional. I congratulate the editor. I congratulate the editors, and I congratulate the publisher, Mr. Glenn Lal, for his vision and for his concern for dignity and honor and democracy in the land. You got a lot of concern, Glenn Lal. President Ali shakes up the police force. The headline, most deserved, ladies and gentlemen. There were too much of politics that was planted by the previous government, unfortunately. And I'm not an anti-PNC or APNU. I'm a friend of theirs. But some of their people did wrong. They took advantage of decent police officers and made them into acolytes and political satellites, governing in deceit and dishonesty. I can never forgive Maxine Graham for what she did to my company. I've always been a lover of the police force. All the commissioners, every one of them, from Lloyd Barker all the way through, ladies and gentlemen, inclusive of Balram Raghuveer, of Larry Lewis, the giant of police sciences, and all the commissioners thereof, until what happened now. I'm disappointed because the Commissioner Leslie James was a man I truly respected and loved and looked up to. And then Maxine Graham did the most despicable thing in 2 years, I would say. She started to make political choices openly in a civilian force, which is the police force, supposed to look after crime prevention, law enforcement, and her bosses, who are the taxpayers of this country. And she expelled my security personnel, I'm ashamed to say, ladies and gentlemen, during the recount. Put them out on the road, ladies and gentlemen, in the rain, without even thinking of calling me or our management or administration. The power was too much in the minds of some of these police. But lo and behold, Dr. Irfan Ali returned. Assistant Commissioner Commander Hickton to his substantial position, and one whom I see one day, ladies and gentlemen, to become the Commissioner of Police of this country. The Guyana Police Force has many of officers of high caliber, of law and order and elegance and decency. An acting commissioner, Commissioner Hoppy, congratulations, sir. You deserve your appointment, and bless you. You're doing a wonderful job, and your personality alone evokes respect and decency and dignity. Upkeep the rule of law. Keep us as your friends. I've always been friends with all the commissioners, including Leslie James when he was an assistant commissioner and crime chief. So, friends and family, President Ali shakes up the Guyana police force. Then Ram Chetan, according to this newspaper, is saying coalition seats will be split 70-30. Ladies and gentlemen, you supporters of the PNC, yes, it's the PNC. APNU is the PNC. Do you think Ram Chetan and the AFC deserve 30%? Did they bring 30% of the vote? To my opinion, the PNC, in its glory and humanity, is trying to be grateful by giving them 30% of the seats. To my opinion, Ram Chetan and the AFC deserves nothing. They did not bring one seat, even friends and families, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen. They did not bring one seat to the coalition, not even one, or not even a third of one seat. They brought nothing. They don't deserve anything. They need to be eliminated, and a new force needs to be created if the APNU truly needs a coalition. Ladies and gentlemen, friends and families, a commentary further on that. And here, Ramjatan is saying that he conceded, speaking like with the tongue of a serpent, a lizard, a snake, a cobra, two-tongued lizard, snake. First he concedes, Ramjatan, and then he says they were fraudulent votes and such likes. What a despicable, nasty gentleman who has done nothing for this country but for himself. He even owns a security company, a large part of it, in which he gave, it is now 43 guns without police procedures fulfilled, ladies and gentlemen. And whatever else they have gotten themselves, him and others, into clandestinely, deceitfully, divine brothers, friends and families in Guyana and the diaspora, friends and families around the world. What did they bring, ladies and gentlemen, to the PNC? They did not get any support in the quarantine or the Essequibo Coast. Not a thing. Many of them were run out of the areas, and people looked down upon them for destroying their livelihoods, for not representing them. He, Ramjatan, stood in Parliament and made a mockery of himself, and also mocked the people while he was trying to mock the PPP. And I'm no PPP. I'm a professional for Guyana. And I will try to see if I can get the clip to show you on our screen, ladies and gentlemen, where he was talking in Parliament that you want us to pour money and pour money and pour money to save the sugar industry. Because why? Are you supporter? That's the way he speaks in Parliament. I think the best thing he could do, he should retire from politics and possibly try to rebuild his law practice. The same goes for Moses Nagamutu. You know, ladies and gentlemen, maybe you don't know, I acted a role in a movie which, because of COVID-19, could not have been established. Brown Sugar Too Bitter for Me. I acted the role of Moses Nagamutu as a Minister Joku, showing the pain and the miseries and the lies and the deceit when they said sugar was too big to fall. I acted that big role in Mahadev Shivraj's Brown Sugar Too Bitter for Me. I'll ask the operator also if he could get the trailer for the 2 or 3 minutes and show it to you here, friends and families, on my screen now, operator. Brown Sugar Too Bitter for Me, Part 2, by Mahadev Shivraj and me as Minister Joku, Nia Soman as money lender, Mahadev Shivraj as the hero. Friends and families, ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to give you some general commentary in this episode of RK's Guyana Free Media. Then there is in the Kaiture news, man gets 5 shots to head. I'm showing you how crazy some party maniacs are. The PNC didn't see it. And they are going through some pain and trauma. I sympathize with them. They're now looking at all the wrong things they did. They're now looking at how they hurt people and affected their lives. Instead of taking my advice, how to win friends and people, they're thinking, they're seeing, they're feeling. And a man gets shot 5 times to the head. But a supporter of the party is spreading message on Facebook that the new government just took power and 6 people died since then. What ludicrosity is this? I know this government, with Prime Minister Mark Phillips being an enforcement scholar, an experienced president and leader, champion of the earth, vice president, Dr. Mara Jagdeo, the official of legal prowess and powers, Anil Dandalal, and the President's Excellency of no little order, Dr. Dr. Irfan Ali, they have plans to curb crime, and they will do the best they can. Crime can never be eliminated, but crime could be controlled and dealt with if you give people the opportunities so that they can live a good and a healthy life. And this is what I think the government of Dr. Irfan Ali, the PPPC, will give the people. I pray and hope for the best for them. So they're blaming the government for this, and then they get a few idiotic supporters going, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. And as if before that, people were not being slaughtered and murdered. Ladies and gentlemen, a more streamlined government under new administration, full cabinet ministries to be established by this week. President Ali tells the people. He tells the people that they are going to get a streamlined administration. The things will be well organized, and one of the first thing he has done is working with COVID-19 and will put proper people to lead COVID-19, not political maniacs and mavericks and those who are looking at the opportunity to enrich themselves that the government of the United States of America and others refuse to put money into the COVID-19 task force account because they know what they're up to. Large-scale thievery and manipulation. They put who? Look at the names they put to head the task force. Who is the prime ministerial candidate to sign paper and draw a line that they have made? The prime minister candidate that they made the chairman. One of the most useless task force we have ever seen, who has done nothing for the country. Prior to that, to my opinion, the government was doing much better through Miss Lawrence, or former Minister Lawrence, ladies and gentlemen. And then the newspaper is also saying PPP dismisses the private criminal charges against Kaiture. I wish to say thank you, Director of Public Prosecution, for your justice, for your good thoughts, and for releasing this lady of pain and trauma after all she went through as the chairman of the Elections Commission, and the manipulations and the trickery and the abuse to her name and her honor, her dignity, by those who wanted power by the back door. Friends and families, ladies and gentlemen. And then some good news. President Maduro wants returned to pre-2015 bilateral relations and congratulates President Irfan Ali. While Maduro is not my friend or someone that I look up to as a leader, the fact is this kind of a relationship can help our rice farmers, our sugarcane producers, and we can get paid again in fuel, and it could help our economy, ladies and gentlemen. So I will welcome the relationship with Maduro. He's not a person that I truly appreciate and like. EPA instructs Exxon to submit quality assurance report for Lisa Destiny before they can get the license. But also before you do that, you need to do a little bit of blackmail. They need to pay their fines, and they need to promise never to commit such errors and flaws again into the future. Guyana Times, GCOM asked parties to identify their MPs. PPP 33, we put this in the wall. The PPPC 33 is to no minority government. APNU AFC 31, ANOG LJP TNM 1. I'm happy that they have one, and my prayer is that they will give the ANOG through the hero now of Guyana, a man whose senior counsel was given and stolen by the previous government. How they lose friends. Because imagine if the man was happy what him and his family would have done, and to vote for the party that supported and helped them. You have to remember, when you deny a man an appointment or an award, you lost his entire family, who could be dozens, hundreds, and in my case, 10 to 15,000 friends, families, and supporters in this country who would have voted for the party I tell them to vote for. So congratulations to them all. And the president, according to this newspaper, is saying that the full cabinet to be appointed this week. The president has taken over the office of the Presidency or the Ministry of the Presidency, Dr. Irfan Ali, has taken over. And ladies and gentlemen, I'll be so happy, so proud if you could just witness former Minister, Director General of the Ministry of the Presidency having had to hand over to Dr. Mara Jagdeo. I would volunteer. I'm not a political man, so they won't have me around with them, right? But I would have happy to hold Mara Jagdeo's bag or his hand, just to walk around like a little boy, just to see the face of the warlord, Eagle Eye, who tried to destroy so many people, including myself, friends and families, ladies and gentlemen. How can I forgive such people? There was an old movie, God may forgive, but I can't. No, I will never say that, though, that I can't. I leave it into the hands of the universe, and the universe did its dispensation of justice. And I smile, because I'm seeing the divine retribution in action. A national plan for COVID-19 pandemic to be announced after government meets all political parties, which means they're going to try to work with COVID-19 with all the political parties, including the now opposition, who kept the PPC out of almost everything and tried to use them in anything. Very good, Dr. Irfan Ali, and your leadership for your legacy will be great. The GDF ranks subject to Commander-in-Chief Irfan Ali directives, the Army Chief. They will abide by the rule of law, so to say, ladies and gentlemen. Carter Center urges the new government to address constitutional electoral reform, that we must have a new constitution where winner will not take all. I agree in that. I believe in something like a Senate or a Congress, where winner will not take all, but everyone will feel some power for the people that they represent, friends and families. Ronald Sanders says Guyana now stands on the cusp of much improved economic future. The cusp, the grasp, the opportunity for greatness. Ronald Sanders, ambassador of Antigua and Barbuda to the Organization of American States. The DPP discontinues APNU AFC filed charges against GCOM chair. Thank you, Director of Public Prosecutions. And once again, crime, minor beaten, robbed by armed bat bandits. So that is for the Guyana Times headlines, ladies and gentlemen. The Stabroek News, one of Guyana's other main independent, impartial newspaper. I would like to see it also on the wall, operator. It is telling us that the President meets senior officials of the Office of the President. Eastern Veltman gunned down at Durban Street and Chapel. Criminality, possibly some kind of a drug running, hate, and the man was usually called Trini, I was a bit to understand. And the Chronicle, the entire front page is beginning to change on the day of the swearing. President promises teamwork. Tells Ministry of the Presidency government will be working in a unified manner, in cohesion, national, governmental cohesion, working in a unified manner to bring about success and prosperity. Let us see it on the wall, especially the one that will show President Dr. Irfan Ali. Region 9 has 80 active COVID-19 cases. That is sad and worrisome. And I know that this government is not going to do anything to hurt Region 9 or Region 1 or Region 7 or any area that you didn't vote for them. Like what it is suspected that Region 9 and Region 1 were being left to suffer because they did not vote for the former government or the former party, and they were taking vengeance on them to hurt them. It is alleged by people who know, including top politicians. So friends and family, ladies and gentlemen, I gave you a reasonable rundown as to what is going on. And then I will probably do another part very soon. And this RK is Guyana Free Media that has to do with Freddie Kissoon and his message, which is always usually most pertinent. And I will see what else to do, one thing else to do with him, possibly taken from the Kaiture news. Let us work as a nation and as a people for continued peace, continued harmony, love, goodwill, and joy for all of Guyana, all our peoples, whether a person vote for your party or not. And I'm appealing to the supporters of the victors. Do not intimidate, do not tease or mock anyone from the other side. Let us show a sense of maturity and respect. The feeling of elation and peace that is moving in the universal energies of Guyana. Let us send positive vibrations and thoughts and prayers. So this vibration and energy, the Hindus refer to it as Jiva, that roams the universe as it spreads. It brings energy, and I got that knowledge from the Bhagavad Gita. But this energy of Jiva that spreads on the earth, that gives life to all. I appeal to His Excellency Dr. Irfan Ali to treat the people who didn't vote for you well. Take care of your own, don't ever forget them, but treat the others so well that they will fight for the next 50 or 100 years to vote for you to stay in power. Very much like Eric Williams in Trinidad and Tobago. He was in power for a long time, because even those of his, out of his ethnicity, which was Indo-Guyanese, was running to support him. I had a guest in Guyana years ago, and he was in a hurry to go back to vote for Eric Williams, even though he and his family are Indo-Guyanese. You have to rule like that the people who mostly support the PNC will want to support you. The PNC had made some drastic mistakes, worse than the PPP in 23 years, and alienated themselves from the mass population that even the AFC could not get one seat in the upper quarantine. And the APNU has been boycotted by many of their supporters. Joined the PPPC, 1, 2, 3 key people who brought hundreds of their friends and their families and supporters. And that is why there were such many votes in Sophia and other areas of Region 4. They don't understand the secret. Former President Granger did not listen to me. The warlord did not listen to me. Learn to win friends and influence people. Friends and family, me, your brother, Haji, Dr. Roshan Khan, saying thank you and saying once again, congratulations to the PPPC and to Dr. Irfan Ali as His Excellency, the President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana. My dear friends and families, I thank you for tuning into this, the RK is Guyana Free Media, and I'm your host, brother, or I was your host, brother Haji Dr. Roshan Khan.
Oh, beautiful Guyana, oh, my lovely native land, more dear to me than all the world, thy sea-washed, sun-kissed strand. Oh, down upon the borders, looking out upon the deep, the great Atlantic.